Well, Frazer, we go again Saturday night against the experienced Dave Allen. I want to start off talking about your last fight against Mariusz Wach now, a guy that had been around a long time, a lot of experience. It was boiling hot in the York Hall that night, took you 10 rounds, and a frustrating night for you.
Yeah, I mean, frustrating in the sense that myself, along with, I suppose, every other fighter that cares about what they do, aims to be perfect. And on that night, I was far from it. So like everyone, you know, you do get frustrated with yourself. I think a lot of boxers, myself included, have a ceiling in our head that we're better than we are, and we have to be like that a bit, because we have to be a little bit mental, you know.
I think you get better though. Like, I think that's how you improve as a fighter, when you know you have that Mariusz Wach, experienced guy, under the circumstances. That was boiling hot in there as well. There was moments of, you know, where it was good, moments, lapses of concentration, etc. But as a whole, you go, well, you got the victory, but because you wasn't happy with yourself, you feel that you'll improve as a fighter. What did you feel you took from that?
I don't feel like, for instance, if I'm a fighter, probably the most perfect performance I've ever seen from a fighter, Joe Kozagi versus Jeff Lacey.
Yeah.
Everyone else would have been happy with it. I guarantee you, when Joe come out, there's something he thought he could have done better. Because that's what we're like as fighters and as people. When you're a boxer, you want to be something you never can be, and that's absolutely perfect. Yeah. So yeah, I learned a lot about myself in that night, a lot about the sport, and I know that I've grown from that experience.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Now, you're going in with Dave Allen, another step up. You know, a lot of people will say, well, Dave, you know, from his fight and he had from David Price, he retired then, he's made a comeback, 4 low-key wins since then. But the guy does have experience, and he does come to fight. That is a fact. So it's another good step for you on your journey.
He's a heavyweight. He can punch. Like I say, I expect to be a lot better than him. But it's all about doing it on the night. You know, we can sit here and we can talk, and every fighter does it. We sit and we talk about, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. On that night, you have to be accountable to go and perform. So that's where I'm at, where I don't do too much talking now. I wait until after the fight. I'll assess my performance, but I know what I intend to go in there and do.
I mean, listen, you're a guy that comes with, you've had 7 fights as a professional, but you've had numerous fights, untold fights as an amateur. You know, you reached the top of the amateur game, Olympic bronze medalist, etc. You know, what's the roadmap for you, Frazer? Like, how quick do you want to move? Like, you know, you're going like Mariusz Wach, who boxed for a world title, Dave Allen, you know, who's beaten world champions, and you're going through, you're stepping up gradually like that, but where do you see the roadmap? I mean, when are we looking at British titles? You know that there was frustrations with you not boxing for the British titles, just a fight or so, you was mandated. We won't get into all that nonsense that was around that, but where do you see yourself, like, well, when do you see yourself boxing for a British title?
Well, I think we've already gone through part of the circus in my career already, the British title thing, and maybe the Mariusz Wach fight was another one of them occasions where, Frazer, you're good and you're improving, but you're not quite as good as you thought you was going into that. So maybe the British title, maybe that was a little bit too soon. But saying that, I was still confident that I could go into that fight and win it well. But one thing I've learned about this game, there's no need to rush. And I say that, but people were going about the fact that, you know, I'm over 30 years old. 30 years old now, Spence, like I keep telling people, he's not 30 years old 20 years ago or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, we can...
Sports science has changed, right? People don't understand that. When you think Muhammad Ali boxed, when he boxed Muhammad Ali, who was it? He boxed George Foreman. When he boxed George Foreman, people were fearful for Muhammad Ali, saying he was over the hill, he was, you know, he was going to get injured. If not, he was going to get killed in the ring. He was 32 years of age then. Boxing science has changed.
We can go to a gym and do all the testing in the world, and you go and find a 21-year-old heavyweight with a better engine than me, with a better mental state than me, you'll struggle. So, you know, I think there's a bit of a myth there, because I feel great. But to answer your question, I think we're in the next 12 months. You know, there's got to be this Dave Allen fight, and then we do well in that. We look at another fight, and then the British title should have been fought for by then, I believe, between Adley and Fabio. And then, you know, I am ready to take on the winner after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. You're ready for that, for the winner. But, you know, let's go to Saturday night. Dave Allen, experienced campaigner, who says he's got nothing to lose, and he's right in what he says. You're the man that's coming through. You're the guy now that everyone's got their eyes on. So that takes that pressure away from Dave. Give us a prediction on how you go in there, how you get the job done, you know, how you win the fight.
I learned a lot through the years of boxing, Spencer, and saying things is great. When you're in front of someone in the ring and they're hitting back, and it's not pads, and it's not bags, and it's someone else who's punishing you for your mistakes, it's different. I see a calculated win where people see a lot more variety from me, a lot more skill than they've seen, and also have to see me answer a few questions because Dave's experience is good. He try and do all sorts to me in the ring, and I'm expecting it, so it won't come to me as a shock. But hopefully you'll see a mature performance.
Brilliant, Frazer. Best of luck Saturday night, mate. Enjoy the press conference.
Yeah, we'll do, mate. Thank you.
Nice one, mate.